Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Spring Cup today, and let's see if we can get some wins with this team. Featuring the Galarian Weezing, paired with the Shadow Lapras and the Ferrothorn in the back. We swap out into the Lapras, they swap out into their Trevenant, so we are going to have to try to get an advantage somehow. We fire off this Sparkling Aria, and we do grab a shield. And we are able to get to another Sparkling here. They recognize it, so they let the second one go. And now we just gotta try to farm with our Weezing. This Weezing has to tank. Okay, it looks like we shield there. We probably could have tanked it. Either way, we're gonna fire off this Overheat to deal some good neutral damage. And then we have the Ferrothorn swap out, and they reveal the Wiggly. So this is very advantageous for us. We are going to get to another Power Whip. This Power Whip does grab that shield, and our opponent is forced to use a bunch of energy right there. Icy Wind debuffs our attack, but all we need is to build up to close to 2, and then we're going to be able to reach this next Power Whip for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, recovering from a bad lead. It's not the worst, but we were able to make a little bit of a comeback. The Weezing having the Overheat nuke is always nice. Okay, speaking of Weezing, we are going to head into the mirror. This is going to be the Sludge, so we are going to get some good damage or a shield. So huge heat, Overheat goes through. We go into the Lapras. They match with their own Lapras, and that is not going to be great for them because we are going to be ahead in energy at all times. We don't chill here because we get the Skull Bash buff, and here we're basically just forcing them to use energy. We are going to shield, farm down, and now we can throw another Skull Bash right back at this Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn ends up shielding it, and now we are in a great spot. Well, actually, they have their own Ferrothorn, so this is going to be closer than I anticipated. Also, we are not running the Flash Cannon for this particular team. We have Thunder for potential Tentacruels floating around for a last-ditch KO, but looks like Thunder is not coming in handy. We are going to have to try to wiggle our way through out of this. They had that Sludge, and we didn't want our health to get down too low. We fire out this Brutal Swing. It does end up grabbing that last shield, and we are going to be able to get to another Brutal Swing or the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. It was a mirror team that our opponent had, but they had slightly different movesets, and that basically was a deciding factor in the game. Okay, here we had a very, very high risk reward situation. Our opponent faces the potential one-hit Overheat or the bait, so it looks like we did draw out the Weezing. Weezing here does go for the Sludge, and that allows us to get to this potential Flash Cannon, so that's why our opponent ended up shielding that. We are going to tank that next move and try to get to a move. We actually just banked the move, and we're going to go into the Lapras. They go for the Overheat and immediately go into their Ferrothorn. The Ferrothorn is going to be able to win this matchup. We're going to try our best to get as much damage as possible. Our opponent here has the Shadow Ferrothorn, so this is going to be quite interesting. How much damage can it tank? Looks like they are going to be able to get to this move. We show the resistant move so that we can keep our Weezing quite healthy. We have energy advantage. We fire off the Overheat, and then we combo play into the Ferrothorn. It just comes down to what they have in the back. Oh, unfortunately, that's exactly what we were supposed to use the Ferrothorn for. Now this is going to be really tough because all they have to do is just go for acid sprays. We are going to gauge how much Brutal Swing does, and it looks like it doesn't even get this low enough. So we are going to barely lose that game because of the Acid Spray debuff. Maybe if we had saved the Ferrothorn energy, we would have been able to win that game. Okay, another Weezing matchup here. We are going to lose the CAP. They go for the overheat immediately. So are we. Let's see what they end up doing. They also tank it. We simul switch out. They actually go into their Trevenant. The Trevenant versus our Lapras is going to be interesting because we're doing some neutral fast move as well. And we end up getting the shield anyways. So at least we are grabbing shields. Here comes another Sparking Aria. Doesn't KO, but you can see it is going to be farm down range for something. We elect to go into the Weezing, get the farm down, and now we have the Brutal Swing, barely not take it out. Oh man, ends up being another grass type, but obviously it knows the dark moves, which is going to be helpful for them. We don't have any good moves here. We could have Flash Cannon right there, so our opponent ends up shielding. So we're going to have to go for a bunch of Power Whip spams. We try to catch. Okay, we don't necessarily catch, but we get to this move here. Take out the Shiftry. Now we have this Weezing to get through. We survived that sludge, and we are going to be able to win that game. So GG's to our opponent, able to come back from that situation. They ended up having double grass, which is very, very interesting. All right, we got the classic Ferrothorn versus Weezing matchup. Let's see if our opponent is going to throw on timing. Nope, they don't throw on timing, so good on them. We're going to try to catch a move here. We catch something. It ends up being the Flash Cannon, so that's really good for us. We're going to be able to get a little bit of energy advantage. Power Whip does get used here, and they are going to be able to one-shot farm down. We don't have a great answer to the Poliwrath, but we do have the Weezing that's resisting their fast moves. And it looks like they are going to be building up. They had the Icy Wind. We go for the Overheat to deal as much damage as possible because we don't have any super effective charge moves. We go into the Lapras, and we do see that it is basically a core breaker. We are going to let this first one go. Ends up only being the Acid Spray. So they debuffed us, but this Skull Bash will KO and buff our defense. And now we have to beat this Ferrothorn. How are we going to do that? We're going to try to use up a bunch of time. Try to get out of here. Our opponent does elect to throw a move here. We have to shield, unfortunately. And then we're going to go for this Overheat to take out this Ferrothorn immediately. The Poliwrath is relatively low, and down goes their team. So well played by us. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.